Thank you for tuning in to Connect More, featuring the shared experiences, new adventures, and nightmares of four pals who have known each other for decades. Connect More utilizes the swear jar concept to raise funds for the American Cancer Society. When you hear this during the episode, the offender will contribute to the swear jar. We'll update the swear jar each week at the end of the program. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of Connect More. I'm Eric. There's John.
Hey.
That's Brian.
Present.
And there's Jason.
Hello.
On this episode of Connect More, Jason and Brian try to figure out what they are hearing. John and I spill ink, and then it's a sing-along whip around, but let's check in with everyone first. Guys, very traumatic last couple days for me. I had to upgrade the iPhone the last couple days, and I got to tell you, that's a scary proposition, right? Because when you do that sort of thing, there's like usernames and passwords that you haven't touched in months and sometimes years. And I got to tell you, I was my anxiety was high for that switch. And when I had to enter the big one, the Apple one that I probably haven't entered since I bought the last phone, which was like 5 years ago, I had it in one of those little password things, apps. And I was like, but sometimes I kind of forget to update those, but I put it in and it flicked over pretty well. Now, Tanya, we also updated Tanya's phone because it was a very special anniversary present to each other that we upgraded our phones. You know, when you been married this long, that's
the
like
romance
very romantic,
never cease.
very exciting.
You guys just continue the excitement.
Oh, that's the 30-something anniversary of his iPhone?
It's the 32nd.
32nd. Okay.
I'll be writing love songs about this someday.
You reach a point where it has to be either served with divorce papers or iPhone. It's the law.
But the color for 32nd is copper, and so I got the orange one because that's kind of like copper. Yeah.
That's
well,
actually
easy to
kind
find.
of sentimental.
Easy to find.
So Tanya has not been so lucky with the passwords and such on the new iPhone. She is able to use it and everything, but there's some apps that she's not able to use because her Apple App Store email username was like a Yahoo account that she didn't use for a long time, and it got discontinued. Like she just can't even sign into it anymore. So there's no resetting a password or anything with that. So that's what she's struggling with right now.
So Ruben, Yahoo was an internet company that started as kind of a search and had some chat functions and other things around the turn of the century. And I believe still does finance news.
I will say, since I think I'm the only Android user on this call.
Yes, we can tell in the chat group.
Yeah, thank you. But I always love hearing all the stories about how easy these iPhones are. Oh, but I love my iPhone because it's so easy. It just seems to be not so whenever anybody talks about their iPhone. I find it amusing. And because I will tell you, every time I get as opposed to you guys who are afraid of changing your phones because of all this trouble, every time I get a new Android phone, it just switches over. I don't even know I've got a new phone almost because it's so easy. So I'm just throwing that out there for all the iPhone users. You can come over to the dark side. It's actually quite easy.
God, there's always one.
Say my personal experience was that bad, but I got to tell you, if I were to switch over to that though and had to sign on with my Gmail and stuff, that's where I'm in trouble. My Microsoft usernames and passwords are a mess right now. I could lock myself out of all sorts of stuff real easy if I had to dive into that world.
Well, is this where we do the PSA, like the more you know thing from NBC back in the day, where it's about, hey, everybody, this is your reminder to get a good password manager and keep all your goddamn passwords in an actual app that's made for managing passwords so this doesn't happen.
It's actually either a good band name or an album name, all your goddamn passwords. And by the way, Eric's are all some version of EVL and Panther. You're welcome. Best of luck. Best of luck, Estonia, if you're listening. if we've reached there yet, on the translations.
I thought it was Wieneretto something. Anyway.
Nice. I earlier this year exchanged my iPhone for the first time since 2017. I rocked that iPhone SE, first generation, all the way through mid 24. I went from the SE to the 16E, and I thought the 16E was just going to take off and plot a course for Mars by itself. And that's just about personal resistance to change. I am holding up my iPhone SE, and why am I doing that? Because they wouldn't give me any money for it, not even a few dollars. They said, you'll just be paying us to throw it away for you, and you might as well do that yourself. And so I kept it as a sort of paperweight and desktop reminder to self that change isn't really as bad as it seems.
You can use it as an iPod now. You can still get your music on it and stuff.
Oh, I like that. I could just fire it up and just store stuff. I could store back episodes of Connect More.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do with my old ones is just I keep it as a music or iPod. And that's it.
It's an expensive thumb drive.
Yep.
Basically.
Stop making new iPhones. No more new iPhones.
I never had any issue with getting a new iPhone or anything like that. But I hear all the nightmares other people have just because, they don't they forget passwords. They don't update their software before backing, they don't back up stuff. Just little things like that. And,
but you're an accountant. You seem like the kind of guy who would keep track of his passwords.
That's it. He's the most technically proficient of the four of us also. So he doesn't even understand the problem.
I'm pretty good. But
he
I'm also
updates
lucky.
his phone 2 years and 1 day after the last one.
It's good to be lucky. That's all I'm going to say.
Here's another thing we learned when we went in there. Of course, we had to then drop a bunch of money on updating our accessories because now Apple's have gone away from that FireWire thing and they've gone to the USB-C or whatever it is, which I think after hearing the story of why they did that, I'm glad that's happened. Apparently Europe put their foot down and said, no. Standardize everything. That is a great idea. But of course we had to get the new blocks and the new wires and the yada yada.
That's where they get you. But the C is becoming pretty universal. I've noticed new gadgets I've bought, headphones and other things are all coming in with the C. Things like for the kitchen and stuff even are coming in, plugging into the C. So if this holds and we can do this for a while, it's actually an upgrade.
That's your album name right there. Plugging into the C.
Plugging into the C, capital C, right?
Duh.
Things that sound dirty but aren't.
Exactly.
All right, boys, time to upgrade into a new segment.
We are the mixtape generation, so forgive us if we still think side A should slap. In New Noise, Same Ears, we pull out the classics that shaped us and the fresh tracks that we pretend we found before our kids did. So today, Weenus, we are going to talk a little bit about those bands that, despite their popularity among other folks, that we just don't get.
Yep.
Lots of the other people love it, but it never clicked.
Yep.
So I bet you've got a list for us there, Ween. What's your top one that you just don't get?
Creed.
Creed. So there are people that like Creed?
There are.
Dude, Creed is back.
It's a pseudo Christian rock thing. I don't like Christian rock at all. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't get it. I'm not hyped up by motivation posters or Christian rock. I just don't want it. Don't get me started on it. Here, number two.
You're anti-accessories?
Hold on, he's on a roll. Don't stop him.
Anti-accessories?
Number 2, Limp Bizkit. I don't like the rock rap thing going on. I don't care about the nookie. I really don't care about the nookie.
And also, I just can't handle a band that doesn't know how to spell. I mean, spell Bizkit the right. I mean, come on.
That's right.
So when Fred covered Behind Blue Eyes, you didn't think that was an American classic?
I don't like most remakes. So yeah, that'd be correct, sir. Number 3, Justin Bieber. Anything by Justin Bieber. Don't get it.
Okay, hold on. I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard, though, he's got a new album out, and Frank said it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's 17. He doesn't know shit. That's That's all I'm gonna say.
Just saying,
I know.
it might be something we have to revisit.
I'm not.
because I've
I'm
heard
not
it's not
big.
bad.
I'm not big on the whole what do you call it, auto voice thing. You know, where
Auto-tune, sure.
where
Auto-tune.
Yeah.
auto tune. Thank you. Where they got to mess. You know, I'm just not big into that. I'm not big in
Yeah, no, I
rappers
get
like
ya.
that. I'm not
No, I
big
get
into
it.
Bieber. I don't like like Britney Spears. She doesn't sound like that. Well, most songs of hers don't sound like the way she actually is. You know, I just don't get it. I'd rather have a raw voice and that's real and not produced. So that's just me.
Okay, now you got more for us, or
Journey.
Journey?
Oh,
Wow.
he left the big one for last.
I
didn't he?
gotta sit on that one for a minute.
Journey.
That
Slap
might be
that one down on
be
the table,
fighting
didn't you?
words for
Whack.
people our age.
Mrs. Roper might divorce me over this one.
I was
I'm
going to
just
say
saying.
you might
Yeah.
have trouble at home there, brother.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, we had a
Oof.
little discussion. Yeah, earlier, and I threw that out there, and she was like, "I think I might be filing tomorrow." So
Yeah,
just
you
FYI,
you take
know why.
away Dances with Chrissy from church camp to Open Arms, and
That's
I don't
right.
know what
Yeah.
my
Man,
childhood
right.
is made of.
That's right.
Yeah, too many good memories of side dancing, like
Yeah.
at the
Yes.
school dance to Journey, man.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't.
Oh,
What's
boy.
you just don't like the Steve Perry vocals? What don't you? What's not good there?
It's the Steve Perry vocals. It's once again, it's kind of I don't know. It's that
Is it over? It's overplayed.
it's overplayed.
Yeah.
That's the big
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
overplayed.
Does Don't Stop Believing get some traffic still? Is that right?
No,
Mm.
not in my house. No, that's auto. That's auto change when it's in the car. Auto change.
That's an automatic. Yeah, I will say, like at the hockey games here in Dubuque, like the Fighting Saints hockey games, in between periods, they've got the big tradition where they put on the Journey song and everybody holds up their phones, and everybody, they dim the lights and everybody holds their phones up, and I'm always like, just make it stop.
You know what? Like, save me from the hate mail on this one. I am coming down at least neutral on Journey. You keep me out of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
fine.
as much of a hater as you are, but it's overplayed at the sporting events in particular. And don't get me started about the Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Over it.
Over it.
Yeah.
Over it.
No.
Knock it
Yeah.
off. Everybody thinks, oh, we got this big tradition of Sweet Caroline. You don't. Everybody does it. It's not your thing. Stop it.
They
Bah,
literally
bah,
do it
bah.
across
Knock
the
it
world.
off.
We're
Like
talking to you,
across the world,
Cyclone
not
fans.
just in the U.S., across the world at soccer games. and stuff.
Yes.
It's far from original.
End
That's
it
right.
now.
That's
sorry.
right.
Is that a big Chiefs thing? John's ready to talk. He's like you're going to defend this because it's a big Chiefs tradition or something?
Not at all. I was just going to go
Oh,
off on
okay.
Iowa State people. I was like, and we lost
Exactly.
an entire demo in Central Iowa just there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, the Cyclones can have their little song. That's fine.
No more
Yeah.
RVTV for this bunch.
Well, I will say, Wayne, that the one that comes up for me all the time, and it just came up recently because they just announced their big tour, is Rush.
Rush.
Oh yeah.
I'm with
do
you.
not
I'm in.
understand it.
I love that
I'm
one
not
for you.
just saying
Yeah.
because they overplay it on the classic rock radio, and if Tom Sawyer comes on, I almost want to rip my stereo out of the dash of my car. Not because of that, but it's also just the fans of Rush are so intense and so into it. And I've yet to be convinced by any of what they talk about. Like, oh, you just haven't heard the right songs. Or what about this deep cut? And oh, there's one 16-minute song that you'll love. I won't love it. I can tell you that right now. I just have never, I just don't get it. And we've talked about this before, but the two categories for Rush fans, right, are people who are musicians themselves. I think musicians hear something in it that they dig because their brains are wired that way.
Mhm.
Musicians, and the second category is like just huge music nerds, like people who just like are into the deep cuts of everything and just can't get enough of whatever, and they love the minutia and the technicality of music in a way that an idiot like I am does not.
Right.
Jason and I were just talking about Rush a few weeks ago, and I think that's kind of what led into this
Mhm.
topic. But I was telling Jason, I've got a really good friend who's a huge Rush fan. He's like, is he a musician? And I started laughing. I said, well, he is a drummer. So, of course,
telling
you
you.
like Rush.
Not necessarily
right?
a yes, but yes.
And so he calls Rush the greatest Canadian band. And so I've spent, I've got this long list of Canadian bands and musical acts that I list off before, Glass Tiger, Honeymoon Suite, Guess
Honeymoon
Who.
Suite. Tragically Hip, Bryan Adams,
Neil Young.
Neil Young,
Celine Dion.
Alanis Morissette, Justin Bieber. See how this works?
Full circle.
All right, I'm gonna just to be contrarian. I'm gonna attempt to like put Rush into a framework. I did the thing on the back in college on the reference of the person who had the real deep musical knowledge. I did go listen to like the Chronicles or whatever it was, and here's what I decided about them. There was a time when they were in they were in play with like all of those progressive bands like 73 to 79 or whatever. That was the thing that was ruling, and you don't have to like that stuff. But then Rush did a whole bunch of 80s albums that all sounded the same. Like there was a quality drop off there, and they got to a C+ level pretty quick, and they stayed there. They have a long discography, most of which is all the same stuff. And I think that's what the folks, who are, if you're coming to it new, that's what you really can't figure out, because as you guys just said, I can't discern a 9/8 time signature in a rock song, nor do I care to.
Yeah, I think that's fair, John. Thank you for putting the whole Rush thing into perspective for us.
You guys are courting so much negative social media play right now. I've got to back you out of these. Oh my God. Journey and Rush just in the first 10 minutes.
You're welcome.
All right. Can I pile on then?
Let's go.
Do it.
I've got two that I just, this first one is, I cannot do the Beach Boys. I know.
We now have 3 listeners left.
Yeah. You just killed all the baby boomers.
4,
that's right. You killed all the baby boomers.
How long have I known you? And I didn't know this about you. Seriously?
Oh, yes. Tanya and I, this is where we struggle because, of course, she loves that sort of thing. But I just can't. Yeah, I just can't. But here's the other biggie. You think that one's bad. I can't do AC/DC. We just knew it was coming. I just cannot do AC/DC. I don't get it.
AC/DC's been a staple on my running playlist for years, but that's the only use for it.
Yeah,
it is. That's another one that's the same song. They have the same song they did 10 times.
Yeah, but I'm more in. I'm more in for AC/DC. I don't know, because it does kind of, like you said, John, it kind of gets you pumping a little bit, and there's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek laughter almost, like they don't take themselves so seriously, which I like, because that's what's insufferable about Rush, right?
Especially the Bon Scott songs.
So seriously,
the Bon Scott songs, Highway to Hell, all those.
Oh,
they're not serious. They're
like a real life Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Well, plus Jason's a huge dirtbag rebel, so it all fits.
Yeah.
No, it is fun. So I'll do mine. I brought one. And it's one, I have a category where like I tried on most of this. And you guys think I'm going to say Wilco, but I'm not, because I actually went to see Wilco, and that would produce that would break up my marriage. But this is the truth. Radiohead. I can't. I've done OK Computer.
Interesting.
I've done Amnesiac and Kid A, and I've tried more than once. More than once. Full listens. Really sit down and try and understand what the fuck I'm listening to, and I can't. And I just read a thing the other day about how influential that OK Computer record was on everything that came after it. And guys, I don't understand it. I understand like Daft Punk from that period and everything that came out of that, but I can't hear this Radiohead thing. So it's more like trying to solve a puzzle and figure out what everybody else hears. But that's why it clicked when you asked the question that way.
Oh, that's really interesting, because I would probably put OK Computer like in top 5 albums for me, perhaps. That's fascinating.
Well, this is why we can't be on a podcast together.
Or maybe we can be on the podcast.
I think Radiohead's just too sad and negative for me. That's my thing. I'm just like,
because you're so filled with joy.
Right.
Look at you.
Well, look at you, Jay.
He's darn near bimbo-esque.
I thought I was the resident cynic on this podcast, but I think you are, Jax.
No, it's
he's pushed you out of the way and walked right, but you got a footprint on your back.
He is going through andropause, man. It's dropped to 0, and he's crispy all the time.
I've got a lot of beefs, and I'm taking it out on you guys.
That's what we're here for.
That's right. We're here for you, Jax.
I'm gonna slip in one more that I just have never gotten, that I've never really understood and never appreciated, despite the attempts of many of my friends to get me to understand it. The Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
deadheads
Throw it
here.
out there. I just
Yeah.
I saw them in concert even. Remember when
Oh,
me and
wow.
Sarah and Damien, we
Yeah.
drove out to Washington D.C. for spring break, remember? And we saw
Yeah.
the Dead that one summer or that
Yeah.
one spring break. I just and some of my friends have, oh, you got to listen to this one. You got to listen to that album. I just don't get it.
Now, wait, you saw The Dead at Wolf Trap as a college student?
I don't know if it was Wolf Trap. It was out in D.C. somewhere. It was an indoor arena.
It was indoors.
I
Yeah,
saw
Okay.
yeah, it
them.
was.
I saw them 1992 in Indianapolis.
Brian, that's
Outdoors.
crazy. Outdoors?
Yes. I
And
saw
was
quite a few.
Jerry was probably not in great shape
No.
at that point?
No, he
Yeah.
was not.
I
Yeah.
probably saw them a little bit earlier than that, right? It was probably maybe 90 when I saw them.
All the songs sound the same to me. It's just like,
Oh, and they're all 25 minutes long, and there's lots of
Yes,
noodling
yes.
guitar solos, and lots of, no,
Yes.
here comes a bass solo. Oh, no, wait,
Yes.
now there's a drum solo. It's like,
Solo.
No, 2 drum solos.
God.
God, it's like you didn't even see them.
Now, I will say the scene was fantastic. I'm so glad I saw them. You know, the parking lot scene and the vendors and
Oh,
all
that
that
was
stuff
everything.
was so fun. I mean, it was a blast. I don't regret that at all. But the recorded versions of those things, trying to get it, I just don't. So,
Maybe I would enjoy it more if I was high. I don't know. I really don't
well,
know.
most definitely, I think that has something to
Yeah,
do with it
and
on every level.
I definitely wasn't high in 1992. So, bummer, Bob.
Well, I tell you what, boys, I feel like getting bruised. John, Jocko, what do you got for us?
We still believe democracy can work, even if it sometimes feels like it's being run by people who couldn't organize a potluck. In Red, White, and Bruised, we wade into the political whirlpool with clear eyes, sore hearts, and the occasional well-earned facepalm. So John and I, all of us really, we grew up where you read the daily newspaper in the morning, and then when you went to bed watching the local news, and then you went to bed. But local journalism is fading before our eyes, right? I mean, John, you and I, we cut our professional teeth in local journalism. I started in radio news before I joined the newspaper world, where you already were as a reporter. I mean, man, where's our original profession gone?
Yeah, I worked at daily and weekly papers for just 3.5 years, early career, but definitely was into it at the point of my education and beyond. And it was some of the most fun I ever had working for a daily paper, doing cops and courts and covering all of this, city council stuff. And I got to know, a lot of great people. Shout out to Marshalltown, Iowa, by the way. But, that was 32 years ago. So it's, we've undergone a whole different era. And I say this all the time on here, but it's hard to describe how different the environment is now when there's no agreement about a referee, right? It's a game. Everything we do now is a game without a referee. The media is just another corporation that's owned to put out, grab eyeballs and put out information that's going to keep people coming back. But I'll say 2 things, Paco. I got 2 points I want to make on this one. One is when I think about my kid who's 28, he doesn't get his information from television or newspapers. He doesn't remember shared cultural experiences in which these companies were packaging news and giving it to us all in real time. So no memory of the OJ slow speed chase, Princess Di's death, the 2000 election night, or 9/11. So he just does not have that monoculture experience of all seeing things all at the same time. And once you lose that, once that breaks apart, I don't know what a local paper or local radio station is supposed to be, catering to as its audience. Once there's no assumption that we all want the same information at the same time. And then the other thing I would say is just this notion of that we went a little too hard into objectivity as a sort of civic religion, and I was never super comfortable with that. Throughout this country's history, newspapers had a point of view. People who were featured in those papers became celebrities because of their point of view, and even think about somebody like Mark Twain had a specific political point of view on the issues of the day. And I think we got lost somewhere in the notion that it was either completely objective or it didn't count. And the folks who do this professionally, I think, got an end run around ran on them, where they end up with a lot of voices that are now very opinion based, drowning out those who spent their lives getting better at just getting information and getting it to people fast. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think the rules of engagement for journalists now has changed so dramatically, as you were just talking about, that we didn't that doesn't usually come into play with the local journalism scene anymore, and there's no want for that from people. We want to hear the stuff that gets us mad. That's so far out there. We want the clickbait stuff that we forget to tune in to find out why the city council is struggling with what a seemingly boring issue, but it's going to raise my taxes by $100 a year, my property taxes by $100 a year. We've forgotten really what matters in our daily lives, and that's where the local journalists really came in. John, when you and I were doing this, we were going to the city council meetings and the school board meetings and the county board meetings. We were going to all of those for the people that couldn't go to that. And we were picking out the things out of those meetings that really affected their lives and what's going to affect those lives. And people were paying attention to that at that time. I mean, they maybe because they had to, when we look back, because that's the only information they had. But that want for that information, that true information that's going to affect their lives daily, is just not there anymore. Even if we could bring that back, I'm not even sure our journalists and our institutions are even prepared to pick up that ball and run again.
And I don't know exactly where that went away, but I don't think it was purely technological, is my point. I don't think it was just about the advancement of technology. I think our ideas changed somehow.
Well, and you're hitting upon something, John, that I'm hoping you two can talk a little bit about. Is, to me, the whole business model just seems broken, because the processes that you're talking about, having that oversight, having that fourth estate kind of oversight of what's happening in the public realm, needs to be supported somehow, and it's not going to be ads. In this modern world, like, that's the business model that supported this journalism ever since the first printing press came out, was you'd pay a nickel for it or whatever, but it was really the ads that paid for the journalists and paid for the big Daily Planet building and the whole whoop-de-doo. I don't know what that new business model is, and I'm throwing it out there. Do you think that we could get into a realm where we could we could operate news media like a nonprofit, where it's not about, because I think that's part of what drives the mania on cable news, is what you said, Jocko. Like, it's the clicks. We wanted people to get outraged and watch the cable news and stuff. First of all, it's not news, and second of all, it's being driven by ad dollars so that we watch the outrage, but we're not getting real news out of it. So to me, we've got to take the profit motive out of this, or else we're never going to get real news anymore.
And I think people are conflating news versus opinions, and
it's not real.
That's right. So I just don't. People confuse those two things, and especially on television or radio, and it's like and it's also entertainment too. And I'm like, no, it should just be objective news. It's not any of those things. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Well, and what's happening now is, the bet that is being made is that every one of these journalism organizations has a parent company that has a point of view, and if we push hard enough on them, we're going to get what we want politically, and we're seeing it play out, which was always true, right? It was always true. On the citizen model, some of my favorite websites are things like Polk County, Iowa Mugshots and Des Moines Scanner. So if you could create something that had that kind of urgency and sort of subversiveness and extra information that you never get otherwise, then Jason, I would say that you might be onto something. I think that's still possible, but you're not going to get like William F. Buckley and Gore Vidal debating, international trade on that, in that setting.
What do you think about the Substack model, where journalists get on Substack and you subscribe and pay $5 a month or whatever, and that $5 a month isn't just giving you access to their articles, because you can get those for free most of the time, but I'm saying I'll pay $5 to support that journalist and keep them going. So that's more of you're almost paying freelance journalists that you respect and admire or want to hear from, but they're doing it more in this crowdfunding model almost. Is that a thing?
I'll shut up after I say this, but they, I pay for a couple of those, and the standard for me is, are they? You said journalists, right? And so if that journalist, that's my standard, right? If they're doing research and they're giving me information and facts that are pulled together that I can't get through AI or I can't get from some other source, then yeah, I want that, especially as it becomes more local. So, for instance, if there was a Substack about Iowa water quality issues and it dug really deep into the studies that I don't have time to read and explain them to me, that'd be worth paying a couple of bucks for. That so for information, my fear there is that it would be specialization would be the only thing that would grab people.
But like, what if we were able to, especially in small towns, because in my job I work in a lot of very small rural areas. Like, what if you created like little Substack communities that focused on local issues like you're talking about, and you could get people to pay $2 or $3 a month to get local news about their small town, and you had, like you said, John, journalists who went to the city council meetings and stuff. Would people do that if we taught them how to do it?
I'll go you one better. And then you take that information and you put it on an AM radio station that's been abandoned that just reads that stuff day and night, only it's read once, right? If you want, you subscribe to the Substack if you want to read it. But if you want to hear it on the station, you got to tune in between 8 and 10.
Pump up the volume, baby.
Pump up the volume.
Get that pirate
oh my
radio
gosh.
going.
Do I get to say Happy Harry Hard-On for a second time on this podcast?
Again.
It's not my character. I didn't make it up. That's Christian Slater playing that character.
I just don't even know if folks are even aware of what they should be paying attention to anymore. Just because everything has just been so watered down. With this, as Weenus mentioned, entertainment news information that they're so used to getting. I'm afraid they don't know what they need to be paying attention to. And sorry to be more boring about this, but the people have no idea how their property taxes, how those rates are being made up and how they're being affected by the state legislature, and then connect that to what services they are going to or not going to get in their local neighborhoods. And so they do, I think, sometimes walk around and they wonder, why are there no cops on this side of town? Or why did this side of town snow not get removed, or the garbage didn't get picked up this day? Why are we going to every other day garbage? I think those questions are out there, but the answers to those questions, the answers to where I work, we get people who come in after the property tax bills are sent out and want to know the reason for this property tax. But all those questions I just put together, those answers are all given months before you find out that garbage moved to every other week, or you find out your property tax went up $25 a year this year. That's what I mean. We just need to try to re-energize ourselves to know where that comes from and what to ask before. But that seems like a very steep uphill climb right now.
So you have to understand, I'm sure Paco went through this too, but I ended days of my life angry that I was reduced to 16 inches of space rather than 22 inches and a graphic. Like that was, I went to a dinner mad about that, because if I didn't get that extra information in, it wasn't going to be published anywhere else and nobody was going to know. And then if two politicians are fighting and one says, I funded the interstate, and the other one says, I funded the interstate, there's no way to find out which one of those things is true. And of course there is. We can all say, you can go to the, right, there are any number of websites, blah, blah, blah. You spend 45 minutes digging, you can find it. But that's the whole point, is that the newspaper made it very clear and created a record.
Well, again, it's the questions. We want to know, what questions should we be asking? What questions do we want to get the answers to? And I know a question that we're all dying to hear is, what is Weenus's Neil Diamond karaoke song?
someone's wondering where we are by now. So before we get called back to reality, let's stick and move with some quick takes, fast laughs, and then we're out. It's time for a good old-fashioned whip around.
Whip around!
All right, is it good or is it bad? Karaoke is less about your ability to sing and more about choosing the right song. What is your best karaoke song? Go, Jackson.
Well, I do think that karaoke is more about the song you choose rather than how you sing it. We've all sat through karaoke where you just chose the wrong song, dude. Like, you're not that bad of a singer, but that was a terrible choice. Like, do not do Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. That's a very, very bad idea.
How did Meatloaf not come up earlier?
Oh, as a someone you just don't get? Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, we'll do that on time. So, that being said, my karaoke song go-to is, as you guys probably know, Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
because
you rock it.
Because part of it's about the presence, right? You got to do the the moves and the swaying back and forth, and it's got a couple good bridges there, so you can kind of rest a little bit and then get right back into it. The audience sings along. Perfect karaoke song.
You do it well.
Yep. You're really good at that. All right, John, what's yours?
Well, let's be clear. I don't show up in a karaoke environment all that much anymore. But if you caught me in the early to mid 2000s, you were likely to have me involved. So that's the context for this. That's where it comes from. And I always liked Cowboy by Kid Rock. And the more that his politics have gone off the cliff, the more fun it is to remember that I would do that song. I not only find it hugely ironic song and hilarious, but you don't have to sing. There's no singing, and everybody knows the lyrics. They all know the lyrics, right? And there's some of it that's outrageously foul. So it's fun, like watch the people do the pearl clutching in the front few rows. But I'm not straight out of Compton. I'm straight out the trailer. That's American literature, you guys.
I'm desperately trying to picture Hedge doing Kid Rock. This is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
You've seen this?
I think
Brian?
I've seen this. I might have seen this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and if I could smell a pig from a mile away, my life would have gone very differently.
Whew.
You know, when you go overseas, if you go to Asia, you have karaoke bars over there. Everybody randomly picks a song and everybody cheers on everybody in every song. It's crazy. It's a whole different thing. People here are too serious about karaoke.
Oh, I agree with you.
Good point. That's a really good point.
And so, I mean, if we do it anytime, I would not pick my favorite song. I would just pick something random and try to make a different version of it. So whatever, and I would say, all you cheer like it's going to be the greatest night on earth. Everybody gets the same treatment, regardless.
So what's
of how
your
good
song?
It is.
This is quite a lead up. Yeah. What is your song?
All right, my song is "Suspicious Minds" by Elvis.
Oh, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. That's a 10.
Yeah,
yep.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good
and
one.
This,
that's a bite.
Yeah, sometimes this depends upon if it's a male versus female singing the song, such as "Flowers" by Miley Cyrus. That'd be a good one to sing. It's not really singing. You could just basically say the words of that one. Or
no, dude, I've always wanted to do Madonna's "Borderline."
Yeah.
Go for it, brother.
Yeah,
Go for it. What's stopping you?
I would cheer on you.
All right. Well, the next time we're all together with the wives at a karaoke bar, I'm doing.
If we have to do female vocalists, I call dibs on Pat Benatar, and we'll do "We Belong" or "Shadows of the Night."
Sweet.
Okay. There you go. Our
Jocko.
Ween, but you brought up something important, like. Before all these singing competition shows, we remember the karaoke, and it wasn't quite as serious. Most people were just having fun with it. It would be like the drunker you are, the more you wanted to get up there. And if people would do duets that were dumb and try to change off the lines, and that was the fun of it. I think that was the fun of it.
If I'm with the group and we're at a karaoke situation, I hear someone like sneer or something at how a person's singing a song, I give them a dirty look. I'm like, why? They're just having a good time.
Yeah, totally.
We're not. This isn't America's Got Talent. Come on.
Yeah, there's no money
Let's
involved.
have some fun.
There's no wagering. There's no money involved. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
It's only an exhibition, not a competition.
That's
Please,
right.
no wagering.
That's right.
DraftKings Karaoke Edition.
So
I'm sure it's on. I'm sure it's on ESPN The Ocho at some point. I'm sure
Right.
I'm sure.
karaoke's on there. Competitive karaoke.
I'm sure.
Oh,
So
boy,
did we
here
get
we
an answer
come.
from Jocko? Then we
No,
get out of
not
here?
yet. I don't think. Well, he said
Okay.
borderline. I don't know if that's his answer, but
That was like my fantasy song, right?
careful.
So
careful.
I workshop a lot of stuff. I like to monkey around, but I think the last couple situations I've been in has been with my county official friends. And so I guess my latest go-to is I perform with my mentor, the retired Blackhawk County Auditor and Commissioner of Elections, the great Grant Veeder, and we do a killer version of Dead Flowers by the Rolling Stones.
Nice. There you go.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That is a
That
fun
one's
one.
got
good
kind
one.
of a boozy cadence to it. You've had a couple drinks. You can kind of rattle that one off.
I think Skid Row heroin addiction. I always think of Grant and Eric. But you got to give us more than just Suspicious Minds. You got a list, I can tell.
Well, depending on the crowd, he also will do In the Ghetto.
I will.
So
I will.
No Kentucky Woman? Kentucky Woman lost out
Nope.
from that period?
Nope. Kentucky Rain.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Kentucky Rain.
what's
I apologize.
Kentucky
Oh
Woman?
my
Yeah,
God,
Kentucky
Kentucky
Rain.
Woman
Rain.
is back to Neil Diamond. See?
Actually, I do
We're
more
back-
in the
back
ghetto
in the
more than
Neil
anything.
Diamond.
I need some females to go in the ghetto. I need somebody to do
You
that.
don't
for
need
me.
that. We'll be there. We'll do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Greetings,
We'll be your
Vi
backups.
Queens, if you're listening. You're welcome.
Exactly. No, there's Margaritaville's a good one to do too. That's just a fun one. Everybody likes,
It's a crowd
easy
pleaser.
to do. The crowd pleaser.
The one that everyone can sing with, right? I mean, in fact, Brian, you and I at one of these county official things we did, Of Course You Never Call Me by My Name,
Absolutely.
by
Oh,
David
boy.
Allen Coe. I mean, everyone. That's just a room pleaser. Everyone will do that one.
Yep. All right. We're officially whipped. Swear jar amount to benefit American Cancer Society is up to $45 fucking dollars. Closing credits, please.
Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you for listening to Connect More. I'm the producer. Please subscribe and like this podcast because it's my only chance of getting paid for this gig. Connect More is a product of Pan Tiger LLC and is hosted by Brian Danielson, Eric Van Lanker, Jason Nisus, and John Hedgecoff. Connect More is edited by me and Jocko. The showrunners are Jax, Hedge, and Weenus. Theme music written and recorded by Ryan Veeder. Cover art designed by Leon Golden. Musical director is Evil. Legal liaison is Brian. Lead writers are John and Eric. Runner-up writers are Jason and Captain Danielson. Publication coordinator is Jax. Special thanks to GVC, Aaron, Miss Roper, and Yoko. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow Connect More on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.